A flash of lightning tore through the dawn sky and struck the middle of our village market, splitting the big silk cotton tree in two. Pots shattered. Chickens squawked. But from that one bolt came the greatest surprise our village had ever seen. Hello, dear friends. Thank you for joining us today. If you love true miracle tales from African villages, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Long ago in the small village of Kijito, life moved at a gentle pace. Each morning, vendors set out baskets of fresh yams, ripe mangoes, soft loaves of millet bread, and bright beads handwoven by the grandmothers. Children ran between stalls, chasing goats or counting the colorful cloths. Farmers traded morning greetings. All was calm under a sky that painted just enough color to promise a good day. One dry season morning, before the rooster crowed, a loud boom shook every heart. Moji, the water seller, spilled a full clay pot onto dusty ground. His goat ran loose, braying as if chased by ghosts. Women clutching their wooden bowls fell to their knees. Then lightning struck the tall silk cotton tree in the market center. The tree cracked down the middle, sending strips of bark flying like paper in a storm. Some baskets tumbled. A hut made of sticks lost its roof. Yet no one was hurt. For a long moment, silence held us all. Then Mama Jua laughed. She was the bread lady, always quick with a joke. "At least you didn't bake that bread," she shouted, pointing at her smashed loaves. The market burst into nervous laughter. Old Bobati Emu, who sold firewood, tapped his cane on the ground. Miracle or warning, he wondered out loud. The young ones whispered that the spirits of the forest were angry. Others said it was a message from the sky god. But no one expected what came next. Late that afternoon, dark clouds rolled in. We had gone weeks without rain. Children danced and shouted, stirring puddles in the red clay. By sunset, rain fell in sweet sheets. Dried wells filled, thirsty crops soaked up every drop, and our parched throats found relief. Yet we still stared at the broken tree. How could a market struck by lightning bring us rain? The elders decided it was a good omen. They ordered everyone to gather wood and rebuild the stump into a new shelter. A few days later, a stranger arrived. He wore a faded cloth and carried a heavy sack. At first, we thought he was lost. He told us his name was Django, and he had come from a far land to learn about our miracle. He asked if he could stay and help. Mama Osha, who brewed palm wine, welcomed him. "We need strong hands," she said. And so, Django stayed. He was quiet but kind. He lifted heavy stones for the new shelter and cracked jokes about owls that lost their night vision. One morning, Django asked to visit the broken tree. He paced around it, measuring its height with a stick. When he finished, he reached into his sack and pulled out a small clay pot sealed with red wax. He held it against the stump and whispered words no one understood. Then, he pressed the pot into a hollow of the tree. He smiled and walked away without another word. The very next day, a tiny green shoot grew from the cracked stump. It was no bigger than a child's wrist. We cried out in surprise. Some fell to their knees. The healer, Mama Nia, scooped soil and touched the shoot as if it were holy. Within a week, the sprout grew into a small tree, its leaves fresh and shiny. Birds nested in its branches. Bees hummed around its buds. Never had we seen a silk cotton tree heal so quickly, or a stranger with such power. With the new tree as shade, the market felt alive again. Vendors sang as they set up their stalls. Farmer Kijito sold sweet potatoes and told jokes that made even grumpy old men laugh. Children climbed the low branches, pretending they were jumping from island to island. One boy told a tall tale, that the tree was alive, and every time someone told a lie, its leaves would tingle. The children tested it by telling silly fibs like, "I saw a dancing goat," or "My mother can catch lightning." The tree's leaves shivered each time. It made everyone giggle. But peace did not last. A drought struck the neighboring valley. Hungry villagers came to Kijito begging for food. We had just enough for ourselves. Sharing became hard. Our baskets looked bare by afternoon. Some villagers grew angry at the strangers. AwoTales warned that hardship would break our unity. One night, someone slashed the new tree's bark. When we found the wound, we also found footprints leading toward the river. A group of brave youths, led by Moji's son, Kofi, set out at dawn to find who harmed the tree. They followed the footprints along the clay path into the tall grass near the riverbank. There they found 4 strangers, hidden in a thicket. The villagers surrounded them. The strangers trembled. They confessed they were part of a band of thieves who believed our miracle tree held magic gold inside. They had cut the bark to search for treasure. We debated how to punish them. Some demanded banishment. Others wanted to tie them and call in the elders of their own villages. Then Django spoke quietly, let them help repair the bark and tend the tree. Let them feel its blessing. At first, no one moved. Then Mama Osha, swinging her cooking pot, said, kindness is the greatest power. The villagers nodded. The strangers spent days patching the bark with mud and herbs. They watered the roots until no crack remained. When they finished, the bark healed smoother than before. It looked as if it never broke. The strangers left with tears in their eyes. They promised to teach their villages to care for life, not destroy it. Months passed. Crops grew lush under the kind shelter of the healed tree. The market bustled more each day. From far away, traders came with bright fabrics and sweet spices. One morning, as the sun rose, every jar in the market was full of honey. No one had poured honey overnight. We tasted each jar. It was pure and warm. The bees swarmed around the tree. They built a hive in its highest branch. Sweet honey dripped onto leaves and the ground. At sunset, children climbed the branches again. They scooped honey with tiny spoons and shared it with the elderly. They said the tree gave them a taste of the sky's own sweetness. Mama Jua told a joke, so the bee said to the tree, why the big branching smile? Everyone laughed so hard the tree's leaves shook. Django said he had to leave. He had never meant to stay forever. At a farewell feast, villagers gave him a carved wooden flute. He played a soft tune, filled with hope. Before he left, he knelt by the roots. He touched the soil and said, guard this tree like your own heart. Protect its gifts. Remember, the storm was only the beginning of something better. After Django left, the miracle tale grew. Travelers told it by campfires. Some whispered that the tree had a spirit that loved laughter. Others said the lightning bolt was a lightning bolt, nothing more. But all agreed, from that dawn flash came shelter, rain, healing, and honey. Each year on the day of the strike, we gather around the tree at dawn. We bring baskets of fruit, clay pots of honey, and baskets of bread. We eat and we laugh. We tell jokes about dancing goats and lightning that tickle the sick cotton tree. Old AwoTales once confessed the real secret. He said, the bow did not pick a random tree. It chose the tree that held every hope in our hearts. He tapped his cane twice. When we healed the wound with kindness, we healed ourselves. From that day on, our village learned 3 things. 1. Unity is stronger than fear. 2. Kindness can heal a wound faster than any blade. 3. Hope can grow from the smallest sprout, even in cracked wood. Years later, the sick cotton tree stands tall. Its branches shade the widest part of the market. Its roots drink deep water below. Its leaves whisper in the breeze, welcome to a place where miracles begin. Farmers come with heavy loads. Traders come with bright goods. Children come to play. And travelers come with open hearts, ready to believe that lightning can bring blessings. Thank you for watching AwoTales. If you enjoyed this true miracle tale, please like, share, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what village you'd visit or what miracle you'd wish for. See you next time for another story from the heart of Africa.